Okay, welcome to episode 6 of Building the Decision Tool. Um, in the last episode, we started wiring up our data functions and our operations. We made some progress on that. We discovered a couple bugs though. For example, we weren't including the IDs in the actual objects. So we've got that fixed, and we also set up local storage so that we don't have to rewrite everything every single time. So we had also set up the factor list, and so now our app looks like this. We have a reset button so that we can reset the local data if we want. We can enter the decision that we want to make, and we can add factors. So we need to continue on our adding factors, and we need to um, be able to edit them. Right now, all we do is list the name, so that's not ideal. We need to be able to add our choices and score our choices. So let's get started. So the next thing we want to do is, if we're on factor, we want to be able to actually edit this name and add weights. So let's see here. So we're going to import our old friend Flexbox. Um, so we have Flexbox here. Flex direction equals. And actually, this is probably going to be a row. I think a row is going to be the way that this looks. Alright, so we're going to have a text box in here. So input type equals text, value equals this, and we need an on change. Const on change e, and this is going to be operations dot update const factor id equals factor get factor id. Alright, update factor name. It takes a factor ID and e.target value. Alright. So on change equals on change. Type. So now this is here, and as we change this, that's all working. And if I factor 1, if I refresh the page, all that's working. So that's good. We need a weight. So this really should be change name. Oops. Ooh. Change weight. Operations update factor weight. Boom. And the weights are empty strings in this case, so let's just say alright, that threw an error. So what's up with that? A component is changing from, oh right, from controlled. That's because right now it's giving undefined, so let's give it default values here. There we are. So now over here, if I say 2, it's added the 2 in, and everything's good to go. And if I refresh the page, all of that is good to go. Alright, so it doesn't look the best, but it is working. The other thing that we want to do is be able to remove this. So let's call this just a button on click operations dot remove factor, and this is going to be factor ID. Go up here, add factor. Ooh, things broke. What's up with that? So what did I do wrong? local factors. For some reason, our factors are no longer getting displayed. So what's up with that? All I did was add this. So now that's showing. If I bring this back. Oh. I see what the problem is. So what happened here is it evaluated this. This needs to be a func, because it only needs to get called when I actually click the button. It was actually getting called when I rendered the page, and so it was removing the factor on the page load. So just doing that once removed all the factors in the system. So that was nice, but now I should be able to say factor 1, the weight is 3, factor 2, the weight is 2, and factor 3 has a weight of 10. Alright, so with that in place, if I refresh, those should all still be there, and they are, and if I remove it, it should get removed, and it does. So that's looking pretty good, and I think that is that's a commit point. So this is, let's take a look at our change. The only changes are here. The only changes we made was actually to finish wiring up factor, so let's do that. We have staged it, git commit -m, finish, or I should just say wired up factor operations. Alright, so there's that. So the next thing we want to do is very similar. We're going to have choices. So here we go, new file, choices.js, and we're going to import React from React. I'm going to export const choices. Now we are going to want our flexbox from flexbox React, return flexbox, and this will be h2. Step 3, enter your choices. Okay. And we know that this is going to bring in decision, and it's going to bring in operations, because that's the pattern. Let's get this wired up. Import choices. Enter your choices. Number 3. We are on a roll, aren't we? Okay. Const choices equals decision.getIn. Import paths from data paths. Alright. Dot choices. Path.choices. And that'll be, if it doesn't exist, we'll have a map in here. So let's get that imported. And that'll be a list to list. Alright, so now we have our choices. We need a button in here. So button on click equals operations.add choice. Boom. And it's our old friend flex direction equals column. And we're not displaying those yet, so let's get that going. Choices.map. then for now, let's just do div. Yeah, that should be enough to actually display it, and we have it here, so we know that's working. But again, we're going to create a new component to handle our choice. So here, import React from React, export const choice. So this is going to get our choice and our decision, our operations. And actually, I don't know if we're going to need the decision, but it's nice to just have it available in case we do. Alright, so we're going to have it do the same thing we're doing over here. Return that. And this is going to be choice instead of C. Import choice from choice. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Choice. Alright, the key is going to be choice.get choice ID. And the choice is going to be choice C, sorry. C. Same thing here, actually. C. Alright, decision, and operations equals operations. Alright, so still being displayed, and we should have no more errors. And we do not. So that is working. Perfect. Now, unlike the factors, which are fine to be displayed in the list, I actually think my choices need to be horizontally displayed. So let's make that happen. And the way we're going to do that is by putting another flexbox in here. And the flex direction in this case will be row. So now they are indeed separated up a little bit. Alright. So as we're thinking about this, we want to continue making this display a little bit better. So let's head over to the choice component. I think we'll again import our old friend Flexbox. Flexbox React. So that becomes that. This is going to be flex direction. Back to a column here. That doesn't change anything at the moment. But one thing I do want is I want some space in here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to give it an inline style. I'm not going to do a lot of pixel munging or anything like that, but you know, some basic styling is going to help me. Padding 10px. There we are. So now I got some spaces in between those. That's good. Alright, const choice ID equals choice.get choice ID. Const update name equals operations. Oh, E operations.update choice name. And this would be choice ID e.target.value. Alright. So now this is going to be an input. Input value equals this. Should always have an empty string, but just in case, that's not going to be there. On change equals update name. So now these should be editable. Choice 1, choice 2. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Underneath them, we need to be able to score each of the different factors. So let's get our factors, const factors equals decision.get n paths.factors, import paths, import map, mutable. So underneath here, we're going to have factors dot map factor. So what's actually needs to be in here? So we're going to have another flexbox. This will be flex direction row. Okay, we're going to have a strong. This is going to be factor.get name. And all of this needs to be in a return. Const factor ID equals factor.get factor ID. And now we're going to have an input. The value is going to be the factor score. So this will be decision.getN paths.choice factor score. And this takes a choice ID and a factor ID, and by default it's going to be an empty string. Then on change, so up here, const update factor score equals E operations.update factor score, and that takes the choice ID, factor ID, and the e.target.value. Alright. On change equals update factor score. Oh, and the other thing it's going to complain about is it needs to get key. Key equals this will be choice ID factor ID. And it's complaining. Why is it complaining? Factor facto ID is not defined. So somewhere in here, it should tell me choice. Doesn't tell me where. There it is. Oops. Alright. Factor 1, factor 3, factor 1, factor 3. And then if I update this, so this is, you know what, let's actually make this the actual, okay. So this is which fantasy world would I most like to join? Alright. And my factors are going to be things like, okay, what about the people that are there? That's kind of important. I'll make that an 8. What about the magic system? If I'm going to be in a fantasy world, I definitely want to experience magic. So, what's the point in going if I don't do that? Danger factor. If I'm going to die, you know, that's kind of important. And yeah, that's probably pretty good. So in the first option, we'll say that's going to be Discworld. The second option will be Stormlight Archive. And let's get a third option. The third option is going to be what? Third option will be Dresden Files. Alright. So this is looking pretty good. And if I were to take a look here in Discworld, you know, how good are the people? Let's call that a 9. Alright, so there's a problem in that this is not working. So what's up with that? Trash all of it. operations.update factor score is not, so I've got the name wrong. I was going for memory, so I need to go take a look at that. So what is it actually? The operation is update choice factor score. So that's going to be easy. Here we go. Boom, boom. So now, here we are. That's working. Alright, so this really doesn't look very good. But you know, we're making progress. I think one thing that's happening here is we don't really need super wide text boxes for each of these things, each of the scores. So we can throw a simple inline style here. This is going to be like width of, what, maybe 25 pixels? Yeah, so there we go. And let's make these look a little bit better. Flex direction and flex 1. Is that what we want? Oh, it's got to be a string. Oh, right. Justify content, space between. There we are. That's what I want to see. Now, people, magic system, etc. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. Now one thing that I think is going to happen is I add more of these. Okay, so it does get wider, but it makes the whole page wider. So let's fix that so that we only are paging where we want. That's going to be over here. Nope, not there. Where's this going to be? It's going to be in our choices. Here we are. Flex direction equals row. Alright, that's a start. Not completely. Style equals overflow x. Helps if I spell things right. Scroll. Alright, so now when I scroll this, it only scrolls my choices and it doesn't scroll everything. So that is pretty good, although I seem to have... Oh, they're here, they're just over here. So the next thing that I want to do is add the remove. So over here on choice, we have underneath all of these, we're going to have a button. On click, it's going to be equal to operations.remove choice ID. And there we go. That's removing them. Okay. So with that in place, we have all of the basic feature set wired up. In the next episode, we're going to be running some basic analysis and scoring to see how that works. Alright, thanks for watching.